And I told Jackie, like, I had ordered food at like 5 and it only got here 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to be blocking my face so I can eat my sub anyway. So,
Well, I ate a burrito on a live once and I still feel weird
yeah.
about it. So I
Well,
fully get you.
again, like, once I put up the timer, we're going to be this big. So I'm like, I'll just eat my food right here.
You see your eyeballs. It's fine.
Yep.
Fine.
Yep. Hi, Sarah. Hello. Hi, Wasif. Hello. Hey, Victoria. I don't know if the other sprints were still going. We're like have dueling sprints today, but
Oh, nice.
I wanted to do some. And Amanda has had me on a couple times recently. So I was like, Amanda, what's happening in California? Come hang out.
Yay.
So it worked out, which is great. And Jackie's like, I'm going to be reading a book all night anyway. And I was like, perfect.
Pretty
That's
much,
what
yeah.
we're used to doing. Oh, let's see. Everyone's popping in. Hey, Mel. Hi, Komal. Hey, Cool Gamer. Nicolette, hello. Good evening. Oh, the other sprint just finished. Well, perfect. Good. Then I'm not squishing anyone. Hey, Warda, hello. Well, hey, Victoria. All the Victorias and Amandas. I got all the good stuff today. Hey, Lizelle. Hey. See, it did work out well then, because everyone read for 2 hours on the other one, and now you can come read for a couple more hours here.
There you go.
Just never end.
Everyone who's joining in, of course, tell me what you're reading. I'll have you ladies introduce yourself first, I guess. I know you, so I'm just always like, let's go. But some people might have not seen you on my channel before, so go ahead and I'm always the opposite way. Go ahead and say hello.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm from First Lady Reads, and I'm actually going to be uploading a video while doing this and reading Bait by, I think, Jade West.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Love Jade
I
West.
started it earlier today, and I'm already sitting here. I'm like, yeah, I'm finishing this bad boy tonight. Yeah.
I love that.
So,
yeah. Hi, I'm Amanda, the naughty librarian. If you haven't read my name on here, obviously. I make videos on the internet, and before this, I was editing my video that goes up tomorrow. ADHD for the win. Nice. But I think I'm gonna finish it probably in the next sprint because I have like 10 minutes of footage to pizzazz pass. This is my own terminology, but basically the second pass is when I add all the pictures. I got like 10 minutes of footage, so I could probably do it in 30. We'll see. And then after that, I got Well Traveled by Jenn DeLuca. I just started it this morning, so I'm going to read it.
I fell off that series, but I loved the first one in it.
I like the first one, and then they have gone down a bit. Okay. The hill is descending. Okay. But I still try anyways. I haven't learned my lesson. So
right. No, I feel that. Well, I see them pop up on like NetGalley, and I'm always like, oh, and I'm like, no, you won't want that. So just because it's like I try not to take books that I think I have a less than 50% thing of loving. You know, I just don't want to take it from someone else and then not like it and be
for sure
that person. But I love it. Okay. Well, I will, like I said, I will be eating my sandwich first. So I'll probably listen to something. Here's the thing. I have an audiobook I'm listening to. I kindly was given an audio arc of this. I also happened to get sent a physical book of this. It wasn't an arc. They sent me it. But I'm really not liking it. And I hate saying that. But I really feel like this was categorized as erotic romance, not because it's an erotic romance, but because they're very horny. And being very horny does not equal erotic romance. Like erotic romance still, in my opinion, has a lot of heart and soul to it because the sex is what tells the story. This is just, I'm 90 pages in and the man hasn't thought about this woman without thinking about her body parts yet. And and her too, like I'm honestly not just blaming him. She also is thinking about his body parts too. But I am just kind of like, you slapped on the label that this was erotic romance, but I don't think you know what erotic romance is because it's not erotic just because they're horny. Like, that's not what it equals.
Well, maybe it's erotic because they're horny, but it's not a romance because they're horny.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Because I'm like, I think horny and erotic go together.
they do, but like because it's not erotica, it is gonna have like more to it. But I'm also just like, these people aren't likable because like they have a job to do and they walk in the room and it's one of those where like she's wet anytime she walks in the room with him. And I'm like, that was fine like one time, but now I'm just like, you have work to do. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
And then there was even an explanation of like, she's nervous and she's like, my hands were dripping sweat. And I was like, no, they weren't. Like,
Ew.
your hands aren't dripping sweat.
You just wet everywhere. She's just a very moist
it's
person.
one of those where like, that's how it's explained. And it's just kind of like, you're using kind of the wrong terms for things. So I was very excited to get this. Anytime you get a physical book sent to you, it never loses its thrill for me, I will say. So I always want to love the book. Like, honestly, even if I don't know if I'll love it, I'm like, thank you for sending me this. And to get an audio arc is like, I'm like, yes.
It's very rare.
And then I'm listening to it and I'm like, oh no, this man is a pig. He's a pig. I mean, I can put up with a lot of that because I like horny books. I do. But like there is not one page of the 94 that they're not thinking about one another's body parts. And I'm like, what else is there to this book? So anyway, that's an audiobook I'm reading, but I may jump into the next Devney Perry audiobook I have, which is Fallen Jester, because I'm very much liking those. But once I finish eating and I can read a physical book, I'm going to finish Funny Feelings. I only have 40 pages left. And this is, everyone is absolutely right. A lot of my friends have been reading this. This is so charming. Honest, Amanda, before you came on this thing, I was thinking of recommending this to you because it is so charming. It's a female comedian and a single dad who's her manager. And like, it's so cute. Like he's a beta male for sure in the sweetest way. Like I normally couldn't handle two awkward lovers like this, but it's so cozy. I don't know. So I'm actually recommending this to you. I don't like do that a ton, but it's so good.
For sure.
Anyway, I'm going to finish that and try not to cry in front of everybody because I've already cried a couple times while reading it. All right, let's see what
into your sandwich.
I mean, it might happen. It might happen. Okay. Mel is working on some bookbinding. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Hey, Candace. Lexi, I saw you were reading Claimed by the Horde King. I hope you enjoy that. I love Zoe Draven. I just read her newest book this month, and
I've heard good things about her. I haven't read her, but I've heard really good things about Zoe Draven.
So good. A Simple Mind by Laura Pavlov. Yes, I need to try some of her. Hydras by Mara Ray. Carissa, I just reread that book this month. Also loved that. Love that. That one has a sunshine hero and a grumpy heroine, and I love it so much. A Tale as Old as Time by Liz Braswell. That's one of the Disney ones, isn't it?
I wanted to read that. You have to let me know how that goes because that's on my list to read.
Cooking and listening to Akawar. Love it. You've been reading since 11 a.m. Well, that's great.
On Friday.
I love it. Oh, on Friday. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She has 10 pages of Akawar left and Komal's reading Desire in His Blood. Beautiful. Another Zoe Draven. Oh, this series by Zoe Draven is one of her older series, and it has aliens who are alien men who are forced to be prostitutes because they have magic cum. They have magic jizz that makes a woman orgasm without ending. And so they're forced into sex slavery. Amanda, it's an amazing series. It's so good. It's so emotional. It's so emotional. I know that shouldn't be, but
let me just add that to my list over here.
They do. They have magic jizz, so they've been enslaved, and like there's
oh my god, that's awesome.
Left. There's like only 5 of them left because their planet was ruined because people are so horny for them that they've like died off. It's so sad.
They got fucked to death. I think this is a great premise.
Like, I mean, it kind of is, and like the starting point of it is this woman is a virgin and she's heard the best place to go to this. She doesn't know that they've been forced into slavery and that each interaction they have, they actually make like $1 off of it. so they can never buy their freedom. So she's just like, I'm going to go lose my V card to this magic alien. And actually she's like, he's being kept prisoner. I must rescue him. It was wonderful. Loved it.
Oh my God.
The heroine is a hero. It's great. You are finishing Historical Romance by Victoria Alexander. Love it. Reading Unhinged. Oh, yeah. I am so ready for the last book in that series. Let's go. It's Greece and it's 2 a.m. Well, thank you for being up with us. And you are reading Julia Quinn. That is a great series by her. Gwen McNamee. I need to read more of her. Rereading House of Earth and Blood. That's right. So excited for next week for us to talk about that book. Oh, so good.
Yep.
So good. You have the audio for The Intern. Sorry, Nicolette. I have to be honest. Okay, I have to be honest. Maybe you'll find them horny and wonderful. Okay, like the books have good ratings. The books have like a 4.3 on Goodreads. So it could just be me that I'm overly sensitive, particularly when reading this compared to this, because this is just a gourmet meal kind of compared to fast food. Like that's there. I shouldn't be reading them at the same time, and maybe it wouldn't feel so awkward. So you're reading Aquar and Serena Bowen. Love it. Act Your Age. Oh, that's a good one. You Have Work to Do. Oh, I don't know. Finishing up When She Said I Do. Oh, Celeste Bradley is so undervalued. Okay, she's so undervalued. That is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it is excellent. Removes the entire series from your TBR. Yeah, I mean, if I can save you some time, Lexi, because I haven't read the first 3 in the series, but I've seen the ratings for The Lawyer aren't great either, which is the first one. And Jessica from Peace Love Books said it. She said that book was very horny. She didn't say very horny. I'm paraphrasing. And so I was comparing our reviews, and I was like, sounds like this whole series is probably like that. Sounds like that. So maybe I won't read more of them. You're halfway through Sky and Breath after that. I completely understand. Yeah, I couldn't get into Marty Man. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to catch up a little bit here, guys. What's up here? What I Did for the Duke. Oh, You Love Our Rex. Well, thanks, Layla. Or Lala. Layla. Sorry, don't say that. Hope Zoe Draven makes audiobooks for the series. Yes, Victoria. I hope she does too. I think she probably will. Like they came out later. And I mean, I think that one only came out in November. So I'm sure it's coming. I never read Zoe Draven before. I'm going to become a comfort author. Yeah, I love her books. Jen and Amanda, can you do a Naughty Pirate rec? I haven't read many Naughty Pirates. Sea of Ruin, Lady Pirate. Those are kind of it that I've read.
I mean, Beverly Jenkins kind of has a pirate one.
Yeah. Is that Captive?
I think so.
Captured?
Or Destiny's Captive, I think it is. Or something like that.
There's also Captured.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I know Joanna Lindsay wrote a piratey one, but that was just what I viscerally hated for no good reason. I can think of some off the top of my head. I think I just read one recently where she was trying to get him declared dead because he's been gone for a long time, and then he shows back up and he was a pirate.
Oh.
And that's historical too. And then I think Cresley Cole did a pirate one.
Yes,
a pirate duology.
You just may remember there's a contemporary pirate one I've read that is a retelling of Poseidon, but he's a pirate. And it's called The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by, is it Amelia Wilde? But that, I really enjoyed that trilogy. But yeah, that was a modern day pirate trilogy. That was good. That was a good one.
So, those are a few.
Priory of the Orange Tree. Is that what that one's called?
Yeah, the Priory.
Yeah, it was it probably corrected it. I would assume that.
Yeah, the 65% is probably 2 books. That book is long.
That thing's fucking huge.
Yeah.
God, it's huge.
It's a doorstop.
DNF'd it. Okay, Victoria. Yeah. The other one in the series I do want to try. I do want to try The Single Dad, because there's I love a nanny romance, and they mentioned The Single Dad in this one, and I'm kind of like, I kind of want to try that one, but I don't know. They might just be too erotic for me. That does exist. That does exist. Well, hey, Crystal. Thanks for hopping over. You're so wonderful. And you are also pirate romances. Yes.
How you doing, girl?
I do get that request so often. I need to prioritize some so that I could do a rec video. But yeah, I only have like 3 that I've read. So, but I know
has them. You can read those and add them in.
Yeah, I know there are quite a few from the 70s and 80s, like in the old stuff. Like I know there's a whole genre of those. Like I own a lot of them because they're usually very beautiful clinch covers. So like I own a lot of them, but to actually read them, I'm not too excited to do.
Yeah. Well, we named a few, so I think we did it. We fulfilled the requirement. Unless Jackie, do you have any pirate stuff?
I got pirate TV shows because I was always about the pirate TV shows, but I haven't read a lot of pirate romances. But if you're looking for a good show, Black Sails is fucking phenomenal. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I love
Black
that.
Sails is great.
Maggie Smith's son, Mr. Rochester. He's a gay pirate on there. It's amazing.
Yeah, Black Sails is phenomenal. I've rewatched that show probably 4 times.
Good to know, Shell. Well, I may just, it was very kind that they were sent to me, but I may just not get to that. And Holly, we will be back. Rake Appreciation Society will be back. We're taking a break. There's a lot going on. I have a vacation. Crystal has a vacation. Tax season is stressed us out and made us busy. So Rake Appreciation is just on pause, but make sure you just follow our Instagram and the Discord, and we will let you know when we're coming back. But it's not gone. It's just on hiatus for a little bit. And there's a lot of other book clubs that are popping up right now. So,
go
ahead.
Pirate related. Sorry, I just thought of one. Brazen and the Beast by Sarah McLean. Pirate adjacent.
That is definitely, there are ropes. There are ropes.
She knows how to tie a good knot. We'll just say that. So sure throw that one in there.
Yeah. Well, we are going to do this first one here, and I'm going to eat my food. My mouth is watering and smelling it over here. So I'm going to eat my food. And we'll do a 30-minute. Just to remind everyone, this will make lovely bird sounds when we come back. So it shouldn't scare anyone. It should be a nice, pleasant sound when we get back. So, alrighty, let's go for it. And mute ourselves. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, this book is so cute. They're so cute. I loved it. I just finished it. And I did start Fallen Jester while I was eating my food. That's going to be a good one. I like that series. Good stuff. Good stuff. Did you guys, you're still muted, Jackie. I'll mute you. There you go.
Hey, there you go. I was like, I'm muted.
Yes. Yep. I did that. Oopsie.
Yeah.
Did you get your videos finished?
Yeah, it's uploaded. My weekly wrap ups got uploaded. So, yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
I'm still editing. I thought I'd finish it all. I did not, but I'm at 15:37 of 20:39, so I have like 5 minutes of footage to finish. It just never ends.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Alona Andrews. Nice. Yeah, Stacy, I've been seeing all your trips you're making to your new place. Good luck with unpacking everything. Moving sounds extremely painful. I don't want to move for a long time.
I hate
Especially
moving.
with books.
Yeah. Well, when I moved into this house, I had 300 books, and now I have 2,000. So it would not be fun to move.
You have a library. Isn't it like 1,000 books dictates a library?
Well, that's what they say. But
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know there was a minimum. I have no idea.
well, someone like it would that went around a while ago. People asked like, what is officially a library? But I mean, I think it has to do with like, are you borrowing them to people? That's more what I feel like.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't lend my books out because I never get them back.
Yeah.
I only lend a book out if I'm willing not to get it back.
Yeah,
I want them to
exactly.
have
Yeah.
it.
Dinner good. You made
I really
breakfast.
felt I did. This was a long time ago, but I was dating this guy, and I lent him one of my books that I really really liked, and like we were like the relationship wasn't going anywhere. We were kind of actively avoiding each other, but I was like, no, I want my book back. Like I made him give me my book back still. So like that's dedication to reading. I hunted him down and got my books back.
My husband bought me the Witcher series for Christmas, and he actually asked me, he's like, can I take these and read them? Because they're yours. Because he knows I get really particular about my books. So he actually asked me to read the books that he bought for me.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
just
like, well, I know where you live, so okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, just don't fuck it up. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Take the dust jacket off and don't fuck up my book. Thank you.
Yep. Well, and yeah, if you see him reading it disrespectfully, you can be like, no.
Yeah.
No. This is a bad way to do this.
Yeah. He's pretty good about it. He takes care of my books. So
no. I mean, it never used to bother me because I'm the type of person where I'm just like, I will just get another one. Like, because I've had people where I'm like, I'm glad they're reading a book. I'll just get another one. But then I've had people who, like, they take it and they have it for 2 years and never get to it. You know, like, you just know people where it's like, if one of my friends brought my book, she would have it maybe a month. She reads a lot slower than me, but she'd have it maybe a month or 2 months. And then like, we're going to talk about it. So it's like borrowing it to her is having someone reading a book that I can talk to them about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to borrow it to them because that's worth it to me. But some people where I'm like, no, I don't know you. I don't know if I'll ever get this back. And like, no, it's special. I'll buy it for you. I've done that for some people. Like, I'll buy you a copy of it. Let me send it to your house. But you can't have mine because I don't know if I'll get it back or not.
My favorite is someone just saying, hey, what should I read? And then I tell them and they buy it themselves. That's like,
that works too.
That's the best.
I mean, that's pretty much what we do every day.
Yeah.
People would tell people what to read, but yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend who's just like, I don't know. I'll just read whatever you tell me. And I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
So, it's all good.
Nope, I have a lot of
I'm willing to give anything a try at least, once. I'll try anything at least once, or like an author at least once, or even sometimes give them second chances, because like not every book's a hit for authors,
Yeah.
Some of the greatest authors out there, like, they have shit books. It's just that storyline just sucked.
The B-side, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Not everything can be a hit
Yeah.
with everybody,
My library bred really fast, especially once I started collecting step backs. It just exploded because like most historicals are so cheap. It's just too easy to just buy hundreds of them. So I have so many of them. If I love a book enough, I'll buy them a copy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He dropped it in the tub. Oh God. Oh.
This is
My
why he's
Harry
wrapped.
Harris. Like I did
Or
have someone
they,
in
not sure.
school. I don't know what they did. I personally think they dropped it outside because we were in the winter or whatever. But when A Great and Terrible Beauty series was coming out, I was obsessed with those. And I borrowed the second book to a girl in school because like we were all reading them and sharing them. And like I didn't mind sharing it with her. Like the library only had one copy of that book. So like I borrowed her my copy. And like it came back water damaged. And like back then, like I was working a job pretty much so I could buy books because there's nothing else in my life that I needed. But if I wanted books, like I had to buy those. My family just didn't have disposable money for books. So Rebel Angel, like that was a $20 book that I bought myself. And then to have someone just like drop it and get it full of water damage and not offer to replace it, like that's the thing. Like it's accidents happen. Like I'm not, but it's the fact that she wasn't like, can I buy you another one? Because I might have been like, you know what? No, it's okay. Like thanks for, but it's like she handed it back to me like I wouldn't notice that there was crinkled pages in it. And I'm like, you definitely dropped this and you're not offering to replace it. Like you're kind of a bitch now.
Yeah.
To me, you are a book ruiner and I won't borrow you something again. I don't trust people to return them or not to damage them because there are people are wild and have creased on the covers, stupidly broken spines, and I'm over here with shocked Pikachu face. Yeah. My sister's reading my Throne of Glass and she has specific instructions to be kind to them. Oh, yes.
I give my daughter instructions when she borrows my books. I'm like, you have specific instructions. These, and I have to know where it's at all times. She can't leave at school. You bring it home and everything. So I'm just like, no. She doesn't really borrow my books anymore.
Yeah. Well, I have 3 sets of Outlander. I have a set that I'll borrow people. I have a set that is the ones I've annotated. And then I have the ones that I have I have the first editions of 3 of them. And like my aunt, she was like, well, I can borrow some of these, right? And I was like, no. These are some of the most easily like gotten hands-on books in the world. No, you can't borrow mine. You can go fucking buy them from Target because I know what you do with your books. She puts my big ass book and shoves it in her purse. And I'm like, no, you can't. Because even then, like I had let her daughter, my cousin, borrow them. And she's very careful with my books. And she's like, my mom's asking to borrow your books. And I was like, tell her no. She can't borrow them from you. You can borrow it. Your mom cannot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. They're special to me. And I know my cousin respects them, so she can borrow it. But like, no, I don't care if I have 3 copies. It like,
Yeah.
I don't care. They're mine. Anyway, I'm anal about very few things, but the books are one of them. Okay.
Hey, every is different. Like I'm anal about my books. Like I can treat my books bad because there are some books that I'm just like, fuck, it got bent because I put my book in my purse with me, and I'm like,
right.
Like I get pissed off at myself about that, but that's me because they're my books. But if somebody else would do that, I'm just like,
right. Well, and like I write my books, I annotate them. I've been known to fold a page. Like I don't care. But again, it's like what I did to it. It's intentional roughage that's been done to it.
Well, it's just like respecting someone else's property, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
Like whatever it is you're borrowing, you're not going to give back a dress with like one tit cut out of it. Like you would like give back the dress in correct condition.
Like I am also a believer that like the physical representation of the book is just that. Like it's not the words. You're not, it's why I technically like I it's why like burning a book, it's the thought of burning a book that is what's desecrating to a book. You know, when people burn things, you haven't ruined the story by burning a book. You're making a statement to do it, you know, because it still exists somewhere. It's the disrespect of like what it represents to burn a book, where you're like, we think this shouldn't exist. But in all reality, I'm like, I'd rip a book. I've ripped books to turn them into art before. Like, I use a background. I ripped a book apart. Like, it didn't destroy a story or something. I know some people cringe. Like, one of my friends makes the letters out of old books. Like, she does the folded pages and stuff where she like.
I got my husband one of those for our 1-year anniversary. I did the 50th anniversary edition of Lord of the Rings because that was a thing for us. So yeah, I have one of those. It's really nice. And when my husband opened it, he's like, "You bought a book to have it folded. Like, you must really like me."
I mean, like, and again, like Lord of the Rings is as popular as the Bible, even more.
Exactly.
So. Like, there's hundreds of copies of it everywhere. Like,
I'm like, it wasn't like it's a special. I mean, it's a 50th anniversary edition, but it wasn't like it's a super special edition,
right?
So,
yeah.
Not that one that's like out now. It's like $250 from Barnes and Noble. Like, I don't actually understand that.
Why?
I really don't understand that. Like, I see all that. I'm like, I understand the collecting factor, but $250 for a book that just has sprayed edges.
I feel like it's almost like what was it? Public domain at this point. It's old enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Is he gonna cook me dinner and give me an orgasm? I'm not paying for that.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I paid a lot of money for some books, so it's all what it's worth to you. That's always what it is. You know, when books get resold and people get up in arms about it, I'm like, if it wasn't worth that to a person, they wouldn't pay it. But it is, because we like pretty things. There are like, if I ever have it within my reach to buy a first edition of Outlander, I would pay many, many dollars for it. Many dollars for it. If I ever found the Mystic box edition of Birthday Girl, I would pay a lot of money for it. I wouldn't pay $1,000 like they're trying to sell it on eBay for, but I would pay many hundreds of dollars for it because I think it's beautiful. But it's what it's worth to you. So
like my husband collects Magic cards. We play Magic the Gathering. And I mean, this is literally a card size piece of cardboard that goes for, some of our cards are $500, $800. And granted, he did trade for some of these, but there are people out there that will, one card from the original Alpha box is 10 grand. 10 fucking grand for a card. It's this freaking big. Okay. It's this big. 10 grand, but it's what it represents. It's the first Alpha box. It's never been I don't think it's ever been reprinted, and what it can do in the game. It's not even game legal. You can't even use it in competition play because of its mechanic. Like, but people will pay $10,000 for it. And I'm like,
I mean,
probably not. But if I wanted to own it,
special editions of books have just blown up in the past like decades. Like, it's ridiculous. But I'm a sucker for them every time. Like, there's like, I have all the editions of Untouchable that have been printed. I have found them. I need them. I want them. Why? It's the same story in every one, but I want them. I shell out the money for it. So, you know.
I have the whole Queens of Monster series, but her new covers.
Yeah.
I would love those because I think they're gorgeous. And I was like, those are pretty.
I mean, those are also the same price as the other ones.
I know, but like, I already have.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, she didn't. Those ones aren't like, alternate covers are a wonderful thing too. I love that. But the ones when they're like special editions and you're paying $100 for the same story with a pretty cover, I do it. I have 3 copies of Sea of Ruin. They cost me a lot. When the original is $20. It's the same book, but I want all the covers. So I have nothing to say. Yeah. That's capitalism. It's the beauty and the drawbacks right there. So, all right. Yes, Dowry Blood. It will show up, Lexi, for not that much. Because the bookish box ones, they don't go for that much. So just keep your eye out. It'll show up for like $40. So it won't be bad. It is very beautiful. I'm excited to read that one. But okay, let's throw up another one of these. Because otherwise, you know us. We'll just talk the whole time, and who needs to read when we can talk to each other?
And I'm in the middle of the scene, like the scene. I'm in the middle of it, like the scene.
All right. Let's do another 30 minutes and then we'll see how we're doing. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Whew.
Oh, crack everything. Hey, Ash. Yes, Jackie is reading Bait. I hope that's going well for her.
It is. It is. We had the scene, the setup scene, and that was nice. I enjoyed that a lot. I feel like it's just been unlocked. Honestly, I feel like kink unlocked.
Yeah,
And
that was my first. That was my first one.
Yeah, that's definitely. I like that. I like that a lot. And now I'm dealing with like the drama aftermath, and I'm like, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jade West writes amazing erotic romance. Like, she writes erotic romance so good.
Mhm. Yeah, I really like the hero in this. I'm still on the fence about the heroine, but I really like the hero. I like the way he
Yeah.
handles things, and I like this other element story he's got going with him. With like this mysterious element, and I'm really anxious to figure about that. And I'm excited. I feel like I'm probably gonna bust this out tonight. I'm just gonna stay up until it's done. It's fine.
Nice.
So
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Reading an Old Mary Ballow, A Chance Encounter. Ooh. She has so many books, so I'm not even sure which series that's in or anything. I would have to look. You're halfway through. Love it. Time goes off at the best part. Right? Nope, I get it. Hi, Jenn. Oh, Mercy is a good one. I hope you're liking that.
I want to start that series. I bought it this year. It's on my list to start.
Yeah.
It's on my list, my series
Pretty
to
good.
start this year.
It's pretty good. Mine, I went back to Fallen Jester because I really want to finish this series. I wasn't going to binge the whole series this month because I have other things to do. But I just really like the audiobooks, and I haven't been in a real audiobook mood. Like, I mean, I was when I was working on my quilt, which was great, but otherwise I haven't. So it's like when I have a series that I want to like binge them, I'm just going to do it.
I've only had one audiobook this whole month, and usually I have like at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But this month it was just the one, and it was nice, but it was only 2 hours. So I was like, oh, all right, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like lately, I can't focus as well with audiobooks. Whereas usually I have an audiobook going and I can be doing whatever and still know what's going on, but my mind just like has been like spiraling a lot with like anxiety sometimes if I'm not doing something while I'm doing it. So that's why like while I was working on my quilt, audiobook was great because I was doing something to focus on. But normally I could listen to an audiobook and just like doodle or something, and I can't right now. So, but I've been playing Candy Crush and listening. I could focus on Candy Crush.
It depends on the audiobook. I find some audiobooks I can really like, I can do things while I'm listening and still retain everything. But there are some audiobooks, and this one this month I couldn't because of the guy's voice. It was just, I didn't want to do anything. I had no desire to want to do anything. Wanderlust was the same way. I'm like, I don't want to sit here and do anything. I want to listen to Richard Armitage speak French and dirty things in my ear. That's what I want to listen to.
Yep.
Like, so it really depends. Like the narrator, if they're really good, audiobook for me doing anything is just I'm going to sit here and stare at the wall and just listen. But if they're not that good, I can do other things, which, you know, kind of sucks because then it's not as good as experience for the book, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's kind of a toss up. And then you have narrators that I'm just like, this is like nails on a chalkboard and I hate all of you. So stop. Like, yeah.
Getting more stuff done. Love it. Blood Fever. Nice. You're gonna read Bait as well. Good. I hope
It's so good. I'm like 45% way through, and it's stellar. Like right now, this is a strong 4 for me right now at 45%. So
Blood Orange is on my TBR this month too, Brayley. So
I saw you talk about that, and I love that cover, and I literally put it in my cart because of the cover, and I was like, Jen, I'm gonna wait to find out what Jen says about it before I buy it, but that thing's on my list.
Yeah. You read way few fewer this month.
All I do is audiobooks. I can't read without them just because ADHD purposes. I need more stimulation than just reading. So every book is audio.
Yeah.
But I finished editing my video and I put it in my cloud. So there's that. I have to put it on YouTube, but I will do that afterward because I made 3 different thumbnails and I don't know which one I like the best yet. So I just started reading Will Traveled again. So
Nice.
I did get some reading done.
Good.
I have to read half of it today to keep on schedule to finish all the books I need to finish before the end of the month.
Oh, my schedule's shot. Like I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish all my books.
I
Because
know.
I've got 2 700 page books that have to be done this week.
Yeah. This is the goal. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I'll finish this tomorrow and then I have to read Blades and Bodice Rippers Book Club book of the month because that live show's this Saturday, I think. I forgot. I forgot about it till now. And I'm like, oh, I have time. Oh shit, I don't. So I at least have to read that.
I have to read the second book for the ABC Readathon, which is the first live shows on Saturday. I have to read that book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the first one wasn't fantastic. Let's just put it that way.
No.
So, but we'll talk about that one later. Yeah. But I still have to read that one.
We'll have stuff to bitch about either way. It'll be good. But
I'm excited about it. And then I've got to read Crescent City. So yeah, that's one of my big ones that I got to read this week. Because I'm in that live show. I'm on that one. On that panel. So I'm excited.
That's a big one. There's so much in that. The reread of that was very eye-opening. So
it was nominated to be the one that I do a full book review on. So I don't have to do a vlog on it. So I'm just doing a book review. So that makes it the read for it a little bit faster because I don't have to worry about filming it all the time. But I'm vlogging The Awakening this week. So
yeah,
Zodiac
we have like the 4 longest books in a row that we all read, right? Because we did Kingdom of Ash, and then we're doing Crescent City, Silver Flames, and Blood and Sky and Breath. Like,
and next month we have Silver Flames, so that's gonna be fun. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because November, December, January, February, March are all the over 800 pages.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But I still listened to Crescent City this time in like 48 hours because I couldn't stop once I was listening to it.
I'm nervous about it because I've heard like when it came out, I bought it when it first came out, but I never picked it up. So it's actually the first Sarah J. Maas book I ever bought. But I didn't actually ever get to reading it. And I have heard so many mixed reviews about it. Like I've heard people that freaking just adore it. And I've heard people like hate it. And then the second book came out and then the same kind of juxtaposition happened. So I'm like, I have no idea which side of the fence I'm going to fall on because I loved the other 2 series. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm assuming I'm going to walk into this and fucking love it. Yeah. But there's other diehard fans that didn't like it. So
I liked the first book quite a bit. It made my top books of the year. So I loved Earth and Blood or whatever combination it was. I really liked that one a lot. And then Sky and Breath, not as much.
That's what I see. A lot of people are like,
yeah, I don't know. I liked it better. But also on reread, I'm in this place with Sarah J. Maas where like I love the discussions we have in my like live show with it, but I don't love just like people's critique of her because I feel like she really is a universe. She's a universe. So there's none of her books where I look at them and I'm like, this is just bad. But there are different periods where I'm like, okay, and this was a very much like a growing book of what we're doing. But the woman has it all planned out, which is what is just like, that doesn't mean that like Sky and Breath doesn't like drag in some stuff and it's like what's going on. But it also is definitely a middle-ish book. Like it's definitely a middle-ish book.
It's repetitive. Like
expanding so much stuff.
Every time something goes crazy, it was Danica, dun dun dun. Like it's just like this bitch didn't do everything. Like you can't do everything.
How long is
Danica? And it was like, okay, she's already dead. Sorry, spoiler. She dies in like the first chapter. This is not that bad of a spoiler.
But also,
I don't even know who it is yet, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm just like.
So, how long is the Crescent City supposed to be? If she's already got 4 books, okay.
You'll see when you open it, there's 4 houses.
Oh.
There's 4 houses. There are
Okay.
different kinds of magical creatures. There's like sky and breath, earth and blood, darkness and shadows, and something and something. So there's like four.
Okay. All right.
So she said
All
there's
right.
four.
Yeah, because I know like nothing of the premise because when
I don't
watched-
know. I don't know what the fucking premise is, and I've read them 3 times. Like, well, because it's not done. Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's not done. I don't understand this yet, even though I really love it. And rereading Earth and Blood, I definitely felt it as more cohesive. Like, it felt more cohesive that one does as a single.
Mhm.
But I also saw all the things like that were being ripped open more. But there was also things that were getting set up in Earth and Blood that just get like dropped for a whole book, which is fine. But also because there's so many pages worth of that, it's like, I'm glad that I reread these, but it's like, what is she going to do for people who like, you know, people don't always reread. Not everyone's a lunatic like me. There's going to be people who haven't read one of her books in like 3 years by the time they get another one of those and are just going to be like, yeah, are going to be like, what the fuck, you know? But
that's why I like the whole experience with Throne of Glass. Like I never read those books. This whole SJM read along, I've been repping for the newbies first go around, but I didn't have to wait the periods between books.
Oh yeah.
And
well, yeah, that's always the best part of a read along.
Yeah, and
always the best part.
Yeah, and seeing some of the twists and turns, like I feel like they were more impactful to me because I literally read them in such a short amount of time for the first time. So I got more of like, oh my, because I remembered everything. I didn't forget those chunks of time because she did those in the other books where she doesn't talk about issues for a while and then it comes back. Like the one guy in Empire or Kingdom of Ash, the assassin from the very first book. Yeah. I saw it, I was like, holy shit. But if I had waited the entire I would not have gotten that. That would have been a detail lost on me, and then I had to actually look it up. So like I'm kind of thankful for that, but at the same time, I am also not thankful because I didn't get the full experience.
It's also the thing of like there are things about Throne of Glass that are very new to people who haven't read fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that as a critique. I just mean like I've been reading epic fantasy series like when I was a kid. Like I'd read Terry Goodkind. You know, I read Robert Jordan. I have never finished Robert Jordan, but I've read some of those. And so those are things that show up in those kind of series. And Sarah J. Maas like brought it to teens and then adults because it is an adult series by where it's going.
Yeah.
And so those are patterns that are like they're tropes and things that show up in fantasy series. Like in Sword of Truth, like there are things that get introduced in the first book and you meet a character again 8 books later. But they made such an impression on you in the first book that when they show up, you immediately know who they are because that author has created that connection so strongly for you that pop-up character, you knew who they were. But anyway, we're not getting into a rant about Sarah J. Maas right now because we're going to do it later. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're almost at 2 hours here. And I know there's another live show for the Folk of the Air that's probably going on or is about to start. So I'll wrap this up. There's just no space for live shows on the weekends. They are booked tight everywhere. So, but I'm not doing some of those read along. So I'm like, I just want to read and I'm not reading Holly Black. So I'm just going to do these, but for sure. Oh, you DNF'd after the 3rd book. Oh, girl, that's right where it gets like intense.
Yeah.
I understand. But ACOTAR's amazing. So anyway, well, thank you, ladies, for both joining me. And thank you, everyone who popped in. Glad you got some productive stuff done at least.
Yep.
And we'll do one of these again soon. This was fun stuff.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.